Top of the morning. Happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Healing Sunday. Hope you're all doing well today. 5 a.m., November 17th. And I am back. My hand is doing a little better. We're going to make up some Rooibos tea. And we're going to make up some special tea I have. It's a special blend of, it's called Genmatcha with a G, not a J. Genmatcha tea comes from China. It is green tea, all natural, organic, with roasted brown rice, organic. So there's little pieces of brown rice that have been roasted to add flavor to a smoky flavor, so it's a smoky green tea instead of a sweet green tea. I think everyone's going to love this. You get 10 quarter-ounce bags for $5 for 10 of them. So we're going to work on what we got there. We don't really have much in the way of bags for the tea bags, so once we run out, we run out. The Department of Health is allowing me to do tea bags, but I cannot do the production for tinctures or edibles. Luckily, Miss Murphy's in charge of the edibles and beverages for JJ Medicinals, and she will be there today from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. along with me and the JJ Medicinals team for our sales and special event at Karma House Kava Bar. So, whatever tinctures we have is what we have. We're not allowed to do any more production until either this Tuesday or this Friday, once I'm cleared by the Department of Health that I can do consumable goods. The teas are allowed as long as I have my glove, they said. But they don't want me working with any tinctures, and they don't want me working in the food industry or with any consumable goods for at least one more week. So if we run out of stock, we run out of stock until the production can be caught up. We apologize for any inconvenience. And for any of y'all who have ordered a care package, we've got all of them shipped out. We got all of our clients happy and satisfied. The last order went out yesterday. So we'll start on new production for tinctures this coming weekend. We also have 2 new edibles that are arriving. One is already on our website. And of course, these teas are our newest teas to our collection. Rooibos tea is good for digestive health, heart health, and for diabetics. You only need one tea bag up to 1 to 2 times a day in conjunction with other holistics to maintenance yourself and take care of yourself in those areas. The green tea you already know the benefits of, but the only difference between this green tea and other green teas is instead of it being extracted, it's straight organic green tea leaf mixed with organic roasted rice to add to the smoky flavor, so it's just a flavor difference, but it's still green tea. So it still has that antioxidant, immune boosting quality, but as well as energy quality. We might be selling another green tea special blend here sometime between January and February, so stay tuned. We're also expecting a few new teas to come to the market over the next few months. Our biggest seller right now is our honeys and our teas, so that's our main line of focus. Our edibles are probably our 3rd biggest seller right now, between our psilocybin edibles that have been flying off the shelf locally to our gourmet natural healing edibles, which is a mixture of dandelion root, ginger, holy basil, and lion's mane and chaga and turkey tail mushroom. So we've got a lot coming to the product listing on our website. We have a lot of products that we cannot legally sell through our website that we will be selling only at vendors events. And stay tuned. JJ's will be at, you'll find us across from Lakewood all the way to Aurora this April to this September of 2025. We finally got clearance through certification of insurance and Department of Revenue to start doing more sales and start spreading out. I'm going to stick to my podium and me educating the community through workshops only at Karma House because of the community I've built already and the connection I built there. I do have 2 other businesses downtown trying to hire me as a educator. They want me to start educating people between psychedelics at one location and holistics at another. So I might consider that once my company is where I need it to be before I jump into other people's companies and promoting their organizations and nonprofits. Right now, I'm only willing to work with Karma House because Karma House Kava Bar donates 20% of all the money that we make and every other vendor makes to a nonprofit of their choice. Last month was to help the LGBTQ. The month before that, when we were present in September, we were giving money to the farmers in Asia who were growing kratom and supplying us. So we gave them 20% of all of Karma House's proceeds and all of our proceeds. The other 80% of our proceeds, we normally put 30% into reinvestment into products and supplies, and the other 50% goes into a savings that half gets donated to our nonprofit to run charity events, while the other rest just stays into our revenue account where it never gets touched. We basically only get to keep 25% of all of our sales out of ideals of running our business and helping the community. We're not in it for the money. We only want to make sure that we can stabilize to give people the resources they need. And more than likely come fall of next year or spring of 2026, since my mentor and our private farmer and supplier is moving to Colorado, we're going to have 2 new team members. We're getting free 30 acres of land to actually do our own agriculture. We don't have to pay a penny on, but I'm trying to talk them into letting me pay them monthly so I can buy the land myself and own it. We'll see how that goes. But the fact that we're getting 30 acres of free land from a wonderful lady, I appreciate her greatly. I'll be giving more information there, but what I want to get on to is you will start seeing more educational videos on YouTube, not just about agriculture and how to grow your own food, and not just about education of how these work as medications, but we'll be doing videos on how to make your house run on water instead of electricity and oil. We'll be showing you videos on how to prevent cancer and do your own cancer treatments at home that have a 30% recovery rate greater than that of chemotherapy. And all you need is electrohydrolysis of water and an implementation of 4 or 5 different supplements. And if you do that, you can get rid of any tumor or cancer within about 8 weeks, as long as you implement this properly. So all these videos I'll be showing you over the course of the next 12 to 24 months. And it's not going to be just me. It's going to be me and my team members, a few people that worked for the CIA, and my friend who is my mentor, as well as our agriculturalist and resource rep for JJ Medicinals, who gets us in touch with the farmers. I'm conducted with the doctors. Our supplies and medications come from our private agriculturalist and from the doctors I work with, as I work with 7 different doctors in 2 different countries. The rest is basically research with biochemists as far as Africa and Asia go, but all my information and resources and documentations of evidence and trial studies come directly from South American doctors, a set of 5 different doctors, and the rest comes from 2 different doctors, one in Asia, one in Thailand, and another one in India. So all my information comes from those doctors primarily, but I deal with the doctors in Asia and India primarily because they don't focus on just the resources they have to their country. They have importations from China, Japan, Vietnam, everywhere, and they get these herbs that grow indigenous to their side of the world and their continent and research it all at a greater affinity than modern medicine in the United States. So since they have more evidence backing natural and organic products, I bring everything to the country. I bring all their medical notes, and then I show people, and then I get people on care plans through JJ Medicinals to help them. So far, the only thing that we've been able to work on the best is getting rid of cancer, getting rid of mental health illnesses, getting rid of diabetes, and getting rid of rheumatoid arthritis. We've managed, well, we haven't, but before I started JJ Medicinals, I got to do a trial run to help people with degenerative disc disease, and I found out in my studies, 2 out of the 3 people I work with, I managed to regenerate all their discs, cartilage, and stop their degenerative disc disease from happening. Now, the way I did this was interesting. I gave them Boswellia extract, 1 gram, divided in 2 doses. So I gave them a 1/2 gram in the morning, a 1/2 gram in the evening. This is the regimen to rebuild your discs in your spine. And this has worked for everyone I've done it with. Now, I can't do it legally through my company, but I've been doing it under the table on my own accord. And I've done it with people that know me well enough, or my products in my company, that are willing to work with me in a personal study. The degenerative disc recovery program that I did worked for 89% of everyone. The only person it didn't work for was 1 person, and I found out why. And I'll get to that right after I explain to you the proper care method to get rid of degenerative disc issues and what I did to help regenerate 60 to 80% of the cartilage and degenerative issues in their spine. I had them take for exactly 8 to 18 weeks Boswellia serrata extract, half gram in the morning, half gram in the evening. With that, I had them take 1 gram of lion's mane in the morning, 1 gram of lion's mane in the evening, and I had them take 1 gram of Teyuye in the morning or afternoon. For one of them, I had to get them 1 gram of Teyuye twice a day. That was their regimen as far as their supplements went. For their inflammation, I gave them magnesium sulfate or magnesium powder to help alleviate the nerve pain, along with the reconnective regeneration used between the lion's mane, Boswellia, and Teyuye. So the magnesium was just helping block the over electroplastic activity of pinched nerve and nerve damage, while the Teyuye, the Boswellia, and the lion's mane reconnected electroplastic connections of nervous system between the brain and the body. Now, how did I get it to get directed to the spine instead of it focusing on different areas of the body? Simple. After about 2 to 4 weeks of them starting those supplements, during the time of them doing that, after 2 to 4 weeks, I started implementing not just magnesium supplements, but I was implementing collagen peptides to help with the reconnective tissue and the regeneration process, along with the magnesium, and it actually helped with the affinity and breakdown process and regeneration process. My problem was I could not pinpoint the location of where I needed the cartilage and everything to be regenerated, because most of the regeneration was happening in the brain from their alcoholism compared to happening in their spine from the degeneration. Now, so what I did was I bought 100 hits of LSD from a private chemist that I know out here who manufactures LSD, ketamine, and ecstasy for the state of Colorado and the West Coast for the last 37 years he's lived here. He's been a major manufacturer. He's probably had the cleanest LSD I've ever done also. So I bought 100 hits. I broke them into 50 micrograms, and I gave all of them free acid. I told them you have to take 50 to 75 micrograms of LSD every single day, except for Saturday and Sunday, for a total of 8 to 18 weeks. So for 9 weeks, they did that. After the first 2 to 4 weeks of them starting the supplements, I had them do 8 to 9 weeks of LSD every single day. And I had them have themselves or their spouse rub castor oil along their spine after they took their LSD. So they took their supplements, then 50 minutes later they would take the acid, or 30 minutes later they would take the acid, and by the time the herbs already were kicking in and breaking down and the acid kicked in, because it's a chemical grade over an organic, it helped disperse it to the spine, because LSD is stored in the spine of every person who takes it. So in order for me to direct those herbs to go where I wanted them to, I needed to give them LSD for the LSD to help drive the organic alkaloids with this semi-synthetic organic hallucinogenic, in order for it to be directed to where it needed to go for recovery. In order for me to increase that recovery rate, they had to put castor oil on before the acid kicked in and before they went to bed at night on their spine. They couldn't take acid before bed because it was keeping them awake, but some of them, at least half of them, were taking psilocybin, and they found out when they took psilocybin, not only did it help them to sleep on the nerve pain, it actually allowed the process to work just as well, and when they were sleeping, they regenerated at a 15% faster rate than they did when they were awake. After a total of 3 to 6 months, 60% of their cartilage and their degeneration in their spine was rebuilt. Now, for the one person who did not recover, I found out why he didn't recover and why this didn't work for him. He was still abusing alcohol in large sums, while everyone else hasn't touched alcohol in 3 to 5 years and have been taking LSD and psilocybin, mainly psilocybin, as microdosing already to supplement their Oxycontin and alcohol use in the past. So that actually helped them recover even faster. The one guy, I found out because he was drinking on it, not only did he stunt the recovery rate, but he actually broke down his discs faster and is starting to lose his memory to dementia or wet brain, because alcohol disintegrates cartilage and collagen in the body. And your brain is primarily collagen and cartilage, which is why people get wet brain, which is why the herbs were only focused on regenerating the nerve damage in the brain and not the body. The way I directed it to the body was using the castor oil and LSD. And it worked. But I can't prescribe LSD legally, so I can't do it for my company, and I'm trying to find a way to find a new way to direct it to the spine. I'm trying to see if there's a byproduct of ergotamine. Since ergotamine is illegal and LSD is illegal, there's got to be a way for me to get a byproduct of ergot that will store to the spine or focus on the spine or get in that area. So that way there's a better recovery rate for degenerative disc. But the fact that that worked made me happy, and I know I'm on the right page. JJ Medicinals itself has done better, though, with recovering people from cancer, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and pain relief and pain management and opiate alternatives and mental health. We're still trying to pinpoint to focus on specific mental health and specific ailments to come, but there's so many health issues out there that now we're trying to take things in a whole new step. We're stepping away from focusing on the conditions like doctors have been doing in modern medicine, and now we're focusing on the cellular ideas, because if everything starts at a cellular and atomic level, you can't fix any of your diseases unless you fix your gut health and your cellular health first. So we're trying to find a way to not only educate, but bring in infrared treatments, scalar wave treatments, and ionized foot bath treatments. And we found out when you implement all three of these, you have less of a need of over 50% less to take supplements or anything outside of minerals and vitamins that are organic in order for you to recover from any type of illness. I've been in trouble because I've explained and I've been asking questions, and my doctor says the only doctors that are certified or cleared to learn about cell salts and cellular health are the doctors that do cancer and chemo treatments. And I'm like, that's interesting. Then why would you wait till we're already sick to fix the issue? Why wouldn't you catch it before it happens? And if everything happens at a cellular level, doctor, that means you need to fix the cell damage before you can fix organ damage or ailment issues. So everything you're prescribing, the same as I prescribe my organics, are a waste of time because they're not going to fix people given the circumstances of today's society. And he agrees with me, but he says, well, that's why it's people's free wills to actually be self-sufficient. Doctors aren't here to save your life or prolong it. Doctors are here to help you for emergency care. But all the resources are already there that if you can't be self-sufficient, my doctor said, to educate yourself and take a positive risk of doing natural healing, well, then you're just as guilty as the disease killing you, that you can't blame anyone but yourself at the end. So you can come to me, Mr. Barlow, for medical advice, but if you're trying to recover and heal, that's your decision that you need to work on, because doctors are not here to heal and recover. We're here for maintenance and emergency care. That's the point of modern medicine. That's why I laugh when I have clients coming in expecting me to fix their issues. We're not here to fix your issues. We're here to help making manageable, and we're here to help figure out why it's happening. And normally by that time, Mr. Barlow, there is no recovery. It's just maintenance. I'm like, and that's the problem, doc. People will get sick because of the amount of contamination no matter what. So y'all will always be making money. Even if I was to cure cancer, which I can't, people still get cancer again every 4 to 6 years, so they have to come back to you. And even if Medicaid wouldn't cover and you can sell a cure, doctor, or Big Pharma could sell a cure for $10,000 out of someone's pocket on a payment plan, they still have to go back again in 4 or 6 years if they're not changing their lifestyle and their diet. So you could still make money on people's ignorance, stupidity, and laziness, because the only people willing to work with me are the people that are desperate enough to make a change in their life. The other ones just aren't educated or just don't care. And at the end of the day, y'all can make a buttload of money on them. But me, I'm not trying to do that, because we've managed to recover over 85% of everybody who's bought from us on a care plan instead of just for personal care and maintenance. So there is definitely something here that's not being talked about. There is definitely suppressed information that needs to be brought to light. And the fact that we're recovering more people than their doctors have done for them really breaks my friggin' heart. So I'm hoping Robert F. Kennedy taking over the FDA makes a positive change. It's already happening, it seems like now, because As of right now, it is illegal for Walgreens, Rite Aid, or any pharmacy in the United States of America to sell pseudoephedrine. It is illegal to sell or possess pseudoephedrine anymore. You cannot sell Robitussin, Coricidin, or pseudoephedrine in the United States under the new policy of Robert F. Kennedy through the FDA. So now they are removing it. You can't even buy Sudafed over the counter anymore. They can no longer carry it. And now they said, Trump and Robert F. Kennedy says, once we attack the stimulants and the cold medicines and get rid of that from all over the counters, we're now going to get rid of dyes, all synthetic dyes and all synthetic additives, which is good because that means nobody can buy soda in the United States anymore. They have to buy kombucha only. So they're going to make it to where you have to buy only what they're allowing you to buy. You cannot buy freely, and the corporations will no longer have control over our consumer rights in America. Now, Robert F. Kennedy and Donald Trump will now have rights over what we get to decide and do in this country. Because the FDA were the ones who did that. Our government, our Congress, and our president have no power. Big oil and big pharma are the ones who run America. So I'm sure that there will be another attempt at the life of either RFK or Trump. But given his backdoor connections and given the movements he's making now against Bill Gates and against Elon Musk, which even though he's working with them, they're in a big argument now about the direction that's happening because of Trump being in office. So let's watch the movie and see how that plays out, people, because this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I need to show people you want to be self-sufficient but not have to go to prison for the rest of your life. Step out of society. I'm going to teach you for free, no charge, how to get rid of oil and gas companies, how to get rid of electric companies, make your own renewable energy, make your house run on magnets and water. And the best part is, when I show you this, not only can you make your house run on alternative fuel of hydrogen and electricity that's made through magnets and a recyclable renewable energy as well as water, but I'm going to show you how you can prolong your life and the life of all those who live within your home by filtering the air quality in your home using water. You can decrease the risk of cancer, of every form of cancer, by 18% for each person in your household yearly, just by you filtering oxygen and hydrogen from water and recycling the oxygen back into your home. Purified oxygen cures cancer because cancer cannot exist in an oxygen-rich, alkaline environment. You have to have an acidic body with very low oxygen quality. So if you have respiratory issues, you have a greater susceptibility to cancer, especially if you eat only fast food and processed foods. So there's a lot here to be known and a lot here to be focused on if you really want to recover, because the only person who can cure you is you. The only person who can give you the resources is naturalists and holistics, because here's the secret. Pharmaceuticals do not work the way they're meant to work. They only work to the degree they're allowing them to work. So not only do they not heal you, but Big Pharma doesn't want you to know, not only can you cure yourself, but your body cannot process synthetics, even drugs, which is why they take plants, isolate the chemical so your body can't process it properly because it only can be broken down through the entourage effect. And this is what cannabis taught me about all plants on earth. Hemp and cannabis have cannabinoids and terpenes. Plants have flavonoids and alkaloids, but they work together in the breakdown process organically for your body to get the full spectrum to heal. If you isolate something, it might focus on one receptor or one part of the body, but it won't heal it. It will suppress it and kind of bandage it, but it won't recover it because there's too many synthetics that the body can't process. Your organic computer can't process the synthetic computer. So it only takes what it can out of it and leaves over 80% of the byproduct, the talcum, the additives such as the fillers in the pills that can cause stomach cancers and other issues, and it gets left in the body because the body can't process it, so it doesn't know where to expel it out. So it stores it in the body until it can process it. But sadly, it forgets about it because it doesn't want to deal with it because it doesn't know how to. And then a tumor forms, and then you get cancer. Now, holistics don't do that. And the chance of dying from holistics, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning. Unless you're foraging in the wild and you don't know what you're looking for, then yeah, you're going to possibly die from poisonous mushrooms or a poisonous fungi or a poisonous mold. But with plants, if you take what's been studied for thousands of years, longer than modern medicine, and you know what to take and you do the research because there's the documentation backing it further than any modern medicine has, it's hard for you to dismiss that and just trust a doctor's opinion when he was told what he was allowed to learn and what he couldn't learn through a book. Because just like in college, or the same as college, just like in elementary or middle school, you're not there to be educated. You're there to be programmed. They want to program you because if you learn too much, now you're a danger to the asset. Now you could actually overthrow what the government's doing and do your own research out of their control, or you can go against their whims and share too much. Or you might actually freak out when you find out the truth and bail out and put them in a disposition. Now they have to keep an eye on you for the rest of their life, but they can't use you to their benefit. You see what I'm saying? So you really need to be self-sufficient. You really need to be self-educated. And the best part is, since you have internet, you don't need to go get a tutor. You don't need to go back to school. Now you can educate yourself. If you need to go to school for a piece of paper to tell you you're authenticated, it would be wiser for you to educate yourself in what you want to do before you even go on a programming. Be self-educated before you be programmed, because the programming is what gets you the paperwork. So they know you're going to follow suit. They don't want you to be freelance, which is why they dismiss freelance and holistic doctors. Because they know if you're that much of a free thinker that you know more than they want you to, then you're a liability to their finance. And they don't care about you saving lives because they want to work on population control to sustain their economy. Because Big Pharma gets all its money for our taxpayer dollars because we keep feeding the machine. And then they get all the rest of their money through big oil and gas, because 60% of all the petroleum-based products are used as cutting agents through Big Pharma. Only 40% of oil and gas stuff is actually made money through, ethanol, propane, butane, and gasoline. Those four things only make 40% of the money for oil and gas and for the fracking and natural fossil fuels. The other 60% goes directly to Big Pharma and the biotech labs. Big Pharma funds everything, so they run everything that America is and has. If you go against the whims of oil and gas or Big Pharma, they dismiss you, they discredit you, and if they can't do that, they have to murder you because you're too much of a liability to the system. But it's not illegal for me to share free information and for you to make it yourself. It's illegal for me to build it for you even for free. It's illegal for me to make it and sell it. It's illegal for me to market it. But it's not illegal for me to give you the information for free and educate and instruct you how to do it, so you can finally decide on your own free will. I'm going to invest $1,000 and build what he just built, because then I won't have to pay oil and gas companies ever again. I won't have to pay electric companies ever again. And I might not even need to go to the doctors ever again if I actually go through with the agriculture this kid's talking about and everyone in Colorado is starting to listen to him about. Like, exactly. But the thing is, you need to follow through. You need to educate yourself, and you need to try at least, and stop dismissing yourself or doubting yourself, so that way you don't become passe or passive and become another sheeple to the system. You need to find a way to be self-sufficient. And think about it. They can arrest you because if you're paying taxpayer dollars and you have an income, but you're not investing money into society or to the corporations, because they want your money and they want to keep you submersive and keep the economy stable for the poor to be poor and the corporations have money and the wealthy to stay wealthy, because there's no longer a middle class. Well, the way to reverse that is to invest in your own business or nonprofits and recycle money from the corporations back into the community, which is what I've been doing. But for the corporations that want to strong arm you, the way to get around that is just knowing the laws and policies and educating yourself, okay? I'm going to be bringing a lot more evidence to the table, and when I show you how to do this, the way you can support society without you worrying is the money you used to pay for oil and gas for your house, or the money you used to pay for electricity, you no longer need to pay, thanks to me teaching you how to make your own resources to make your house run on water and only magnets. Like, I can make your gas line run on a higher, cheaper fuel, make it burn at a higher temperature, and even get lighting in your house at a greater quality of lumens just using water and just using magnets, and it's renewable, so you wouldn't even have to pay $1. You just have to keep building more machines to build up your output. And even though you can't sell them, well, you'll never have to pay another electric bill or oil and gas bill again. Hell, you won't even have to pay for gasoline anymore. But the most important thing is fossil fuels are temporary, so we need to focus on renewable energy. And if the corporations want control over our money, well, the way we can support society without supporting the corporations is be self-sufficient, start making our own renewable energy, making our own alternative fuels, and making our own agricultural self-sufficient living. If we do all three of those things, we won't need to worry about society's stronghold, and we could still go to markets, because as long as we're spending at least $50 or $100 a month out of what we get in income towards shopping of some type, we're still supporting the community and society, so they can't come after you for tax evasion or for not being a productive member. And that only applies to people that are on disability or receiving free funding who can't work. People who work, they don't come after you for that, because it's your free will for your employment and your income. But for people who get money from the government, you're required to recycle that money back. So if you're just sitting on it and being self-sufficient the way I'm telling you to, then Social Security and the government will come after you and put you in jail. The way around that is for you, of you being self-sufficient but still receiving a government check, is for you to make donations. If you donate the money that you're getting, you could still write it off on taxes compared to you investing it on what you're spending on taxpayer dollars through taxes shopping. Now you could just donate it. So now you're getting more money back than you would just spending on your taxes, and you're supporting a community or organization. At the same time, you're paying probably less money through donating than you would in a year just for the electric and gas. See what I'm saying? If you want to support your community more, then you need to step away from the corporations. It's simple as that. And that's what JJ's about to be doing with me and my team members. We're all going to get y'all to step out of society and start being self-sufficient. Now, I spent a good half hour explaining this. It's Natural Healing Sunday. My company, JJ Medicinals, has our event today, so I'm going to get these tea bags made up. I have to do inventory and get everything ready, and then I got to get me and my son together, because he's going to his aunt and uncle's, and I got to go get my team members and get to this event at 2:30 today. So I'll share some videos later of the event. I'll share some information videos later as well, but this is the gist of it, because I got a busy day. So have a beautiful day. Happy healing. I need to get to work. Much love.